Yo, what is poppin'? People, your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger, of course. You know we don't bring nothing but these hits. We got these bangers. So y'all know what to do. Y'all know what to do. But first, I gotta do my job. And shout out to you, the viewer, for taking the time out to watch this video. But while you're here, do us a solid. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that little star and hype your boy up. You know what I'm talking about? And you know we can't do this. Will not, cannot, won't not start a video without giving a shout out to our beautiful ladies of the CU1Ts who are always in the building, showing support and showing love. So if you see a CU1T in the chat or in the comment section, make sure you say what's up. Because as always, big shout out to the CU1T in the building doing a doggone thing. Shedeur Sanders is facing the Chicago Bears this weekend. Caleb Williams. We seen that battle in college. Now we get to watch it in the pros. Shadeur almost pulled it off then. Will he be able to pull it off now? But that's not here nor there. Because the topic of discussion is these last four starts. First, it was the first start. He got to do something there. Then it was the second start. This is the start he needs to prove himself. He needs to do something because he won the first start. The third start. Oh, if he don't do nothing on this start, it's going to be, And then Kevin Stefanski names him as the starter for the rest of the season with 4 games left to go. And everybody like, oh, Kevin did it. He finally did it. He finally named him the starter. Yeah, he did. He was going to do it anyway. Because y'all don't remember the plan. They told y'all Shadeur was going to start the last 4 games of the season. This was the plan. So he didn't have no problem naming him the starter for the rest of the season. Because he was going to do it anyway. So he just merged on forward. He kept the party going. He's sticking with the script. But all y'all are fooled by all this fluff and bullcrap. Let's go. Now, everybody is all excited because he finally named Shedeur the starter for the rest of the year. Hell, that was the plan. They was going to do that anyway. If y'all remember the plan. You remember the plan? Was to start Shedeur the last 4 games of the season. Let's just keep going with the plan. So now we can name him the starter for the rest of the season. But what they didn't expect was them early starts. And what those early starts has left to is Shedeur Sanders, Rookie of the Week. Shedeur Sanders, Rookie of the Week. Shedeur Sanders, Rookie of the Week for that 364 pass yards, 29 rushes, and 4 touchdowns. 29 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. The only rookie this season to pass for over 300 yards is Shedeur Sanders. Jackson Dart got this close. Tyler Shuck got this close. Cam Ward got this close. Shedeur Sanders got this close and stretched it this far. You know what I'm talking about? Always be great at all times. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about these 4 starts. Which Mary Kay Cabot asked Kevin Stefanski, hey, Kevin, is Shedeur Sanders going to be the starter for you for the rest of the season? You know, these last 4 games. Appreciate that, Mary Kay. Good looking out. You know, I slid you that question before the press conference and said, hey, just gonna sneak this one in there. Yes. That's all he had. Yes. That's a shame. That is an awful shame. But the Bears The Bears are a good defensive team. They are leading the NFL in takeaways. But we talking about these 4 stars and this credit that Kevin Stefanski is trying to get for Shedeur playing like he is. For Shedeur being the man that he is. And we told y'all a long time ago that when Shedeur was going to start playing good, that the Browns would try to take credit for Shedeur. I told y'all that. Nate told y'all that on 92.3 The Fan. He told y'all that. This ain't no game. Listen.
I don't think it's coincidence through 3 games. He's been pretty unremarkable, and we're starting to hear some of the development that the Browns are telling the local reporters.
This has been my whole point the entire time, was that this was always going to happen this way, and we started to see it 2 weeks ago, and now we're seeing it last week, and now you're seeing it again today. The idea that once you start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, and they start to see who Dillon Gabriel is, they're going to try to take some credit for Shedeur Sanders. This is it. This is their saving grace, is the idea that they're going to try to make it seem as if Shedeur was not even close to ready previously, and now all of a sudden, voila, he's ready. And I'm telling you guys, nothing's changed with Shedeur Sanders. Nothing's changed with him relative to where he was before the season got underway. I'm sure Stefanski's doing some time and some work with him, but there's no drastic leap that's happened. He's always been better than Dillon. He remains better than Dillon, and now we're just counting out the time until the Browns actually put him out there. I cannot stress enough the point that with more struggling that you see, or really from a 3-game sample size with Dillon that they're less than impressed by with, the more chatter you're going to hear about Shedeur Sanders all of a sudden overcoming all these made-up obstacles that they put in his way. And I just think it's such a farce, and it just feels so wrong that they're able to do this and get away with it. On a fundamental level, it just feels like someone.
I mean, every NFL team does this.
I know, but it feels like dragging Shedeur through the idea that for his reputation and his name, for months on end, people thought he can't play the position. And they told enough people behind the scenes, and you know this firsthand, Nick, they told enough people behind the scenes that he was so far behind, laughably far behind, and all these other things, just so they could make themselves look good in the end of it. And that's all they're trying to do. Oh, we fixed Shedeur. We got him to a spot where we could play him, and thank goodness we did just in the nick of time. And I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to besmirch his name that way, and I think it's wrong to go ahead and drag his name through the mud that way when he didn't.
Now, see, we tried to tell y'all. We tried to tell y'all that they was going to try to pull this crap off. We saw it coming. It's old as dirt. It's written. That's what they always do. But they had Shedeur back in the back, chilling. But now they won't. He stepped up to the front and all the shine on him. Now you want to try to act like you did that. You didn't do that. When Dillon went down, Shedeur still hadn't had a rep with the first team. You had nothing to do with his presence on the field, right? The way he dominated. That's just Shedeur. But Ryan Clark dropped a gem about Shedeur Sanders, and it is a banger. I'm just going to let y'all listen to it because he ain't spit number facts.
I just finished watching Browns Titans, and Deionsanders should be so proud of Shedeur. Not just because of the way he's played, but because of the way he's conducted himself. With the level of career adversity he's faced already. Think back to the pre-draft process and the slanted, unfair, and biased coverage of Shedeur Sanders, whether it was his connection to his father, whether it was envy, or if it was something that he symbolized that people just didn't like. The anonymous quotes and the negativity surrounding his process was so much different from any other player. And then you think about the fact that he was drafted in the 5th round. This is a guy that had late first round to second round tape, which many of us said that day, and people behaved as if we were ignoring Cam Ward. No, we were just talking about what was directly and brightly shining in front of us. But when he was drafted in the 5th round, I said, I take what I think of him out of the picture and realize he's going to be treated like a fifth rounder. That's a fourth string quarterback at the beginning of camp, a third string quarterback at the beginning of the year, but he wasn't covered like that. He was covered in a way that always put him in the spotlight. And there were times, I can even say on my side, I was like, man, I wish he would find a way to not give people things to talk about. But he was raised with that level of confidence. He was raised with that level of certainty. He was raised with that level of bravado, and he needed it because they tried to beat him out of it. And then he gets that first start, and I'm like, man, if he doesn't play well, I don't think they'll give him another chance. Not based on what I believe he deserved, but how they treated him. But he played well, and he made big plays, things Dylan Gabriel didn't do, things Joe Flacco didn't do, and he earned himself another opportunity. And in this chance this weekend against the number 1 overall pick, he outplayed him. There are 4 throws in that game, 2 to Fanning, 1 to Jerry Jeudy, another to David Njoku in the end zone that are 4 of the best plays I saw all day. What I love, though, is that the media has set him up so many times to say something negative about his team, something negative about his coach, and he just refuses. And I get it. Everybody's all up in the uproar because of the 2-point conversion. And you may forget, he was there, the 2-point conversion previously, and he dropped the football on a snap, but still, he just never said nothing. He just kept working, and he earned the right to start the rest of the season. I actually like his journey, because his journey showed how he was raised. Let us know that his father should be proud, with work ethic, with ambition, with confidence, with professionalism, and he's needed all of those things to get to this point. But what he's shown you is he should have been drafted higher. He should have been treated better. And you could have built a year around Shedeur Sanders. Now he left y'all no choice.
Now that's the facts. That's a banger right there. Now he left you no choice. He made you do it. You ain't got no choice but to do what you do. You wanted me to fail? Still ain't fail. Told y'all about playing with God's babies. You want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Because what you think you want to do ain't got nothing to do with him. But Mary Kay thinks otherwise. And when Mary Kay talks, you know, she been talking to some people in the building. She got a little different angle on these last 4 games.
You were the Browns. You're still taking a cue
I just finished watching.
next year?
At this point, yes. I still need to see 4 more games of Shedeur Sanders proving.
You see Ken Carmen throw his hands up when she said, I still need to see. Ken Carmen, like, what you need to see? What else do he need to do? This is how people in Cleveland are feeling right now. Except for Anthony Lehman. I got something for Sports Boy Tony, because he's a true hater. And he been called out on his crap already, but let's rewind this back.
If you were the Browns, you're still taking a QB in the first round next year?
At this point, yes. I still need to see 4 more games of Shedeur Sanders proving that they don't need to do that. I still think it's too small a sample size to say we absolutely don't need to do that yet. So he's got to go out there, and he knows it. The headline on my story for Shedeur from yesterday was, if I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. He knows that he has to go out and prove himself in these next 4 games to be the Browns' starting quarterback of the future. So I don't think that's any kind of radical idea. I think it's pretty obvious that this is an audition for him and that they haven't 100% reached that conclusion yet.
Oh, boy. They haven't 100% reached that conclusion yet. Now, that's what Mary Kay is hearing out of the building. But Tony Grossi got some people in the building, too. And his take is kind of different.
The fact for the first time the Browns came out and committed to a quarterback for longer than week to week says he's winning somebody over. They couldn't even commit to Flacco, for indefinite period. It was week to week, and then Gabriel, and But now he's got the runway to the end of the year, which will give him 7 full games as starter, and I think he's winning them over every day in studying and correcting mistakes. The coach consistently talks about that now every time his name's brought up. So I think he is winning people over, Riz, but there's still difficult decisions to make.
Tony, one of Shedeur's biggest haters, thinks he's winning the people over in Berea, in the building. The same people who said Shedeur was so far behind. I ain't gonna let y'all get away with telling that lie, man. Because y'all just lied on my guy talking about he was far behind when he was so far ahead of Dylan Gabriel. We had this discussion. Shedeur was the most pro-ready NFL quarterback coming into the draft. It wasn't even close. But each week he gonna get better. But T. Rizzo love the way Shedeur handling all of this stuff.
Taken as a value pick in the 5th round. If I'm here, I'm here. If I'm not, I'm not. There's no other rookie quarterback saying that in any one of their other teams. I'm glad Shedeur said it. I'm glad that he let the Browns know. Not an ideal situation, but I want to make it very clear to everyone. Under no circumstances has that kid been a problem, or has he been a bad teammate, or has he had a bad attitude. In fact, I thought he said everything yesterday that I wanted to hear, and that is I'm focused on the Chicago Bears. I'm sure the Browns had to like that. I'm sure Stefanski had to like that. I'm sure his teammates had to like that. It's a pretty damn mature way of looking at getting screwed.
Now, Shedeur is the most media trained and media savvy quarterback rookie in the league. Because he's been doing cameras and interviews since he was freaking 8, 9 years old. This ain't nothing new to him. He's very well media trained, media savvy. And so that's how he know how to hit you with a hot one. That's why his reactions are quick when they come with them buzzard-ass questions. Shedeur Sanders got 4 games left in the season, and he gonna ball out. He might throw a few picks here and there, but he's still gonna ball out. Because if you know the Shedeur Sanders that I've been watching, and if you're watching his progression throughout these last 3 starts, you can see it. And once he reaches that comfort level, because he's not there yet, and I don't think he's going to get there in these last 4 games, because they should have started this, like I said, in week 3, because right about now, he'd be hitting that comfort level and ready to close the season out with nothing but bangers. But the Browns were stubborn. Kevin Stefanski's evaluation process was horrible. He should lose his job. Kevin Stefanski evaluation was horrible.
Kevin Stefanski must be fired. Kevin Stefanski must be fired.
Just like that. Without hesitation. Because his evaluation of Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders was very, very bad. Or you don't like him, or the NFL conspiracy theory. Either way it goes, you're still bad at your job. No matter which one you pick, all of them are horrible. Either Kevin Stefanski can't evaluate, which makes him bad at his job. Kevin Stefanski didn't like Shedeur, which makes him really, really bad at his job because he didn't like him and didn't want him to start. Or the conspiracy theory that the NFL was holding Shedeur back. Pick one. All 3 of them are bad. But all 3 of them are bad, and none of them have anything to do with Shedeur's play on the field. That's the worst part. That's the most egregious part of it all. But anyway, we gonna get out of here now. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all know what to do. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Do not forget to hit that little star down there. Do not forget to turn your post notification bell on so you know when we going live or dropping this heat. Make sure if you see the CU aunties in the chat, shout them out. Big shout out to the CU aunties. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to get out of here, man. We got 4 games left. What you think Shedeur going to do? He going to ball out? He going to barely skate by? Or he going to throw it all the way? Pick one. Y'all let me know down in the comment section. We're going to chop it up again later on. Because I got another banger coming for you. I'm out of here. I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace out.